Hi everybody, it's Jeff. This is going to be part 2 of the MiniArt US Armored tractor, they call it. It's a bulldozer, 1/35 scale. Okay, I've got enough parts cut out here to do the first 4 steps. So let's go down the bench and we'll see what we can do. Got some really tiny parts already. Okay, great, be right back. Okay, here's the parts for the first few steps. Let's take a look at the instructions real quick and I'll show you what we need to do. Yeah, last night I went through and I washed all the parts and I marked the instructions up. I divided them all up. Makes it so much easier to figure out what you're doing. And I organized the screws all in containers, and I labeled the bigger ones with masking tape. Make it a lot easier to work with. I've got all the pieces organized on the bench just right behind me, so I can just go over there and clip out the pieces I need, and then I'll probably eventually get a camera and stuff over there so I can just record over there, but until I can get that done, we'll do it like this. So anyway, in step 1, we've got the 2 valve covers, we've got the 4 injectors, and the 2 engine halves, and 2 little bitty pipe fittings. Okay. So here's everything for step 1. I know you probably can't even see those on that white background. Just real quickly, I'll move over this side here. I'll put a picture up so you can see just how small these parts are. It took a bit to get these cleaned up, but I think I did a pretty good job with them. I left a little match here. That's one of those real small matches just for size comparison. Alrighty, let's get a little bit of this done. Got the 2 valve covers and the engine halves. Everything seems to fit real good, like I would expect from MiniArt. And of course I'm off camera already. Let's kind of move this back a little bit so you can see. All that fits really, really well. Okay. On things like this where you can, it's good to put your glue on from the inside. It'll capillary action, it'll all work its way through. See, it's coming through there. If you're quick, you can wipe it, but don't get glue on your fingers and then get them all over the parts. Okay, there's those first 2 parts. I'm going to put the injectors on next, and then we'll put these valve covers on. Just give me a little more space. These are keyed. The little hole here is square, and then the bottom of these it's actually kind of rectangular. So they only go in one way, but they are really tiny and you don't want to use hardly any glue. Make sure they look like they're square to the world. Okay. I don't know if you guys can hear that noise or not, but it sounds like somebody's building something. I can hear some hammering around the neighborhood. Okay, one more. And just look at them. They all look nice and straight. Okay, and let's get the valve covers on. Just a tiny little bit of glue. Capillary action will take it in. Taking about 90% of the glue off the brush. Don't need to have all that much. Alrighty. That looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and get these little fittings on here. One of them goes in a tiny hole right here. A very tiny hole. It's so small, there's not really hardly any detail there. Okay, and then the other one goes on top of this little part here. Just put a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of glue there. And it looks like it faces forward. So I'll have to turn it. Let's see if I can grab it. Still lots of glue. Okay, it's not quite straight. Okay, I would call that step 1 finished. Okay, let's go ahead and set this aside and we'll start working on step 2. Let's look at the instructions real quick. Okay, this is the clutch housing. Okay, we've got these two halves go together. This bottom one is keyed and it'll fit in this little slot right here. And then we've got these two pieces that go around 95 and C95 and C96, and they're keyed. So if everything is correct, it should all fit together really easy. Okay. Okay. Here's our two halves, and there's a pin that keys them together. We can do that from the inside. Okay. This little plus sign goes up. The key is here in the bottom. Okay, let's set that aside for a second. And this here, on there again. Just make sure I'm looking at this right. I see a connector mark there that I didn't sand off. Okay. Looks okay. This will go here. Just making sure I don't make any errors. That all looks correct. And then this goes like this. Okay. Ever so slight gap at the bottom. It should pull together fine. Yeah, looks good. Okay. Plenty of gluing surface here. Okay. Didn't quite run the glue far enough up. Okay. And then this one will go on this side. Okay, looks good. Just checking to make sure everything lines up correctly. Put just a little bit of glue between, ooh, that's way too much. Between the two. Okay, that looks good. And then this will go here. Like so. Okay. barely a little bit of glue. You can see the glue jump right off the brush when I get it where it's supposed to be. Okay. Getting that to quite line up correctly. There we go. A little bit of a gap right there. Okay, that should be part 2. Okay, let's take a look at step 3. Okay, this is the oil pan, and then we've got 2 little access covers to go on each side. Now I noticed an error in the instructions here. According to the instructions, both of those access panels are flat, and that's not exactly the case. Let me show you here. Okay, this is B37, and you can see it's got a bump in it, I guess, for a better word, and this is 38. So this goes on one side, this goes on the other. This protrusion here is a good indicator to show you that this goes on this side. Okay, got to make sure we don't mix them up. Okay. Need very little glue. I got too much on there, but it's easy, as long as you don't mess with it, it's easy to come back later with a fiberglass pencil and clean it up. And this one will go over here. I think this is, I started to mark the back so I could tell which one was which. Okay, just like so. Okay, got a little flash right there. That's going to have step 3. Okay, let's look at the instructions again for a second. Okay, all this stuff here we can change to green, because we've all whatever it's going to fit to has been done. Okay. Just my way of keeping track. And I will, this is all in my Google Drive. So I'll put a link in the description of the video to the instructions, and you can follow along if you want as I build it. Okay, let's go back here. I really like this program for a way to keep track of stuff. I think it's just a Microsoft Edge program. Okay. And that will be all right. Okay. And if we go to step 4, it's just putting the first 3 parts together. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, and then it'll probably be good for the day. So here's one. Got to be real careful with it already. This is the side. Goes like so. Here we go. Okay. Be real careful you don't have your finger over the glue joint, because doing it like this, the glue can capillary through and go right up under your finger and create a mess. Okay, let me just hold that for a second, and then we'll have this. Okay, and just keeping everything oriented correctly, this will go like this. There's a couple little slots those go into. It doesn't look to me I've got a slight gap at the back. See, I pushed too hard. I have to do that some more. Okay. Well, let's I'm going to shut this off for a few minutes and let this firm up, and then we'll come back and we'll put the oil pan on. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, this is firmed up nicely, and the other parts are pretty much set too, so I shouldn't easily disturb them. So here's the oil pan, and it's keyed. It goes in the couple little slots back here, so that's pretty good. Looks like it should. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put a little glue in these slots, and then along here. Just to kind of get things started. Okay. It says Caterpillar right there. So I think that's probably going to do it for this video. I'll put some pictures up at the end, like I usually do, of the progress so far. And when we come back next time, I'll go ahead and start working on the pony motor and the gearbox and everything for the pony motor. This was a fairly good, I don't remember the dimensions, a fairly good sized diesel engine. And what they did is they had a smaller gasoline engine sit right here. Okay, they would start first, and then they would let that warm up, and then they would engage the little gas engine to the diesel engine and start the diesel engine that way. Okay, so let me put a few pictures together, and I'm not sure just what we'll be doing tomorrow. Be doing something. Working on one of them. Okay. Thanks a lot, guys. You all have a great day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye.